Listen, people, I keep reminding you lot, Man United are built different. Let me tell you something again. Manchester United are built different. Keep telling your nan, your dog, your grandma, everybody that you know, yeah, Man United are built different now. We shall not be stopped, said people. Enjoy tonight, Liverpool. Liverpool. We are coming for you on Sunday. Grace Khan, we are coming for you on Sunday. Let's wipe the floor with them lot over there. Them scouts, me. Let's wipe the floor with them lot. We're on a roll right now. Man United shall not be stopped.
Look at this dude. Wait till you see the. No.
1 week later.
Get it out! Get it out! What is going on? Salah, oh my god, let's get down to, oh my god. Ah! What is this defending? Watch it! Salah free! Five again, it's got it again, it's got it again, it's got it again! It's got it again!
Hold! I don't give a damn what type of show this is. Hold emphatically. Hold drastically. Yeah? I don't give a damn if this is London Clubs Carnage. There ain't no way that result you're going to get away with that yesterday. There's just no way. We're not even going to talk about it too much because we got our own problems to settle, but I just had to get that in early where you would not expect it as an audience. All right? It would have been too predictable to do it on the next show. Big up everybody in the building. You already know what's going to happen later on tonight. I can see Tobs is smiling away. Everybody can't wait for that skull clip. It's going to be crazy. Let's get the order looking how it should as well. I mean, Lawless, you're lucky that wasn't on you, bro. I'm not going to lie. You've escaped, bro. You're not going to escape much longer. How are you doing? You good?
Listen, mate, honestly, rock bottom. I've hit rock bottom after the weekend, but I would like to thank Man United for taking the smoke off, taking some of the heat off, the attention away. I feel for Saeed, man. He did deserve that. But, it's one of those things. It just, like I said, takes the heat off. But it's tough right now.
It's mad. Nobody saw that coming. They're like, bro, how did he get involved in this show? He's not even in this show. I said, you know what? Football is a humbler across the board, and I have to put it in somewhere where people aren't expecting it. The shock value is what I was going for. Lee, how are you, bro? I mean, a win again, last minute. Nelson with the lefty. Oh, it's mad.
Never in doubt. We just keep on winning. The wheels keep rolling. You know what I mean? And unbelievable game. Got to say it, unbelievable game. Brentford, I've got to say, played really, really well on the day. 81%, they only had 9%, and they had 4 really good chances. So credit to them for doing that. That's a bit of a worry from our point of view, but somehow we got the job done. And what a way to get it done. You can't beat a last-minute goal. I'm pretty sure Lawless up there's forgot about all those last-minute winners, but
last minute after the injury time, by the way, after all the minutes should have been played.
There you go, you know what I mean? So listen, last minute goals are not for everybody, are they? As you know, at Old Trafford the other day. But listen, from an Arsenal fan, this has been one hell of a week. It's been a great week. 4-0 against Everton. That was a nice little thing there. The little bonus. We talk about the little bonus. The certain team went up to Sheffield and they come back humbled again. And then, of course, this weekend to win like we did, well, unbelievable. You know what I mean? So all in all, a good week for the Arsenal.
Yes, and people are saying Lawless needs to come outside. Lawless, you must avoid relegation. Toby,
Stop
you also
smiling.
collected an L as well this week, my brother. How are you doing today?
What's that video when that guy's like, I'm pretty sick of it, to be honest. I'm losing my love for the game. Yeah, I'm losing
Love with football, that one.
I'm losing my love for this team. It's literally going. I've lost my love and patience for the coaching setup. I just don't really enjoy being a Spurs fan right now, but I'm glad that I am that shameless enough to actually take some small pleasure, in fact, medium pleasure in other people's misery, aka Saeed and Lawless's. So I got to cling on to that. And yeah, we have to talk about yet another loss, 2 losses back to back last week. Disgraceful losses, if you ask me. But yeah, let's talk about it.
I mean, it sounds like you're voting yourself to start. The poll has actually voted for West Ham to get us going.
Let's start with West Ham. Let's start with West Ham, because
I mean,
Lawless never goes first. He's always last. Nobody cares about West Ham. So
oh, no one cares. But my losses bring you joy. So
it does bring me joy. It brings me a lot of joy because you didn't just lose. You got absolutely steamrolled. You got battered.
I feel like we should start with. Do you know what? Actually, because I know Lee has to go at half. How will we work this? Let me think. I feel like,
what can we say about Arsenal? What can we even say that's going to be different? What can we won again? You know, we rode up. You know, we had the possession. We got a last-minute winner. It's all great. It's all lovely and rosy up North London. You know, what else can we say?
Do you know what? Yeah, what we can say is they conceded the second quickest goal in Premier League history. I think it was, Lee.
Ooh,
I couldn't believe that. First of all,
and if VAR doing their job, it shouldn't have counted. So I see today, another mistake from VAR. Against the Arsenal, another mistake against the Arsenal. Can you believe that? You know what I mean? So, it should have been called. Should have been disallowed because they had 3 players in our half at the time, which is not allowed. But listen, funny enough, VAR missed that, and funny enough, they missed all the handballs. So it's certainly going against us a little bit. But there you go. Who cares?
Oh my God.
I'm going to say this now, I'm starting to go with Toby on this, about these West Ham fans. I've always wanted West Ham to survive, but this Lawless is starting to get on my wick. You know what I mean? Wanting Arsenal not to win the league. I thought West Ham and Arsenal were aligned with each other a little bit, but no, they're not. So
the thing is, Lee.
Yeah, where does your hatred for Arsenal stem from?
It just stems from a lot of their fans being massively insufferable. I grew up in East London. A lot of Arsenal fans who have no business being Arsenal fans in East London. And year after year, even when they was in the wilderness, not winning things, they still had the arrogance about them. And honestly, really, really...
Does every fan base not have that, though?
But they've got to me, the fans like Lee and Potts and Kenny Ken and Robbie, they're like a minority in the Arsenal fan base. The majority, I find, is just overwhelmingly insufferable. And a lot of there's Chelsea fans, Spurs fans in here, Liverpool fans, a lot of fans will agree with me. That's just the case. We know if they win that league.
Don't put Robbie in that category of fans that aren't insufferable. Robbie is one of the most insufferable Arsenal fans.
He's not that bad.
Don't put him in that objective and pleasant Arsenal fans. Robbie is as Arsenal as they come, almost to the point of delusion. Don't put Robbie in that category.
I saw a short where it was Nketiah versus some other striker, top striker, and he still went with Nketiah for the short. I think you have to point which one you're picking. Listen,
but Man City fans aren't inside. I don't find.
Well, there's not. I don't feel like Man City's fan base is nowhere near as big as Arsenal. So of course Arsenal are going to be more insufferable because you see them more often. They definitely have the biggest fan base in London. Let's be honest. In terms of when I walk around on the streets, I don't come across any fan base more often than Arsenal. Every single time I'm stopped. It's Arsenal fans. It's literally 99% of this time it's Arsenal fans.
And listen,
I don't know if that's because of the
didn't he?
platforms I'm on.
Lawless just said it. He walks along the East End and he sees a load of Arsenal fans. You know what I mean?
Glory
So there
hunters.
we go. Look,
That's
you
what
know.
they are. Glory
He's
hunters.
obviously been bullied at school. You know, they took his. Not only we're taking his packed lunch, you know, we're taking his rice now as well. Like he ain't
I'll believe it now. Absolute
Declan Rice.
glory hunters.
Declan Rice. Do you know what? I feel like I'm going to merge these two clubs together today because you've been chasing Declan Rice, Lee. You were kind of looking at him in the summer. And then obviously Lawless has been heavily defending his captain, leader, legend, his Mark Noble replacement, the guy that will not be sold unless it's for 100 million. And then he spits in your face in that post-match interview. He comes out and he says, you can shut up. We don't want to hear your opinions. We don't want to hear what you have to say. I don't pay attention to the noise. And he wasn't talking to the pundits because he said, you haven't played on that pitch. You're not qualified to talk about my team. He's talking to you. He's talking to the fans. And before you try and squirm your way out of it or wriggle your way out of this into some sort of massive park the bus defensive line, I saw you quote tweet, and I've seen your whole fan base quote tweet that Declan Rice interview, and they're telling me not a good captain, should never have got the armband, sell him, we don't want him. Your quote tweet wasn't very nice either. Talk to me. How do we feel today about Declan Rice and how much is he worth? Because the valuation has been fluctuating, I do believe.
Now, listen, right? I'm not even forget about the value because the value is still the value, right? But we have to call him out because look, a lot of other fans have said he's not talking to the fans, he's talking to the media, right? And regardless, like he should have made that crystal clear because he does apologize to the fans earlier on in the interview. So, but he doesn't make it clear. He's talking about the interviewer asked about people that are, putting pressure on Moyes, talking about Moyes, Moyes' job being under threat. And then when he's saying, if he's talking about the media, they're not experts, they don't play on that pitch. Well, you're inadvertently then still dissing the fans because we don't play on that pitch. We don't get paid all of that money. We work hard and graft to pay to watch this game. But we know what a bag of shit looks like. Yeah. We are qualified to say what is shit and what we're not happy with and should this manager continue. So whether he was aiming at the fans or the media, he still shouldn't have said it. Like, and I'm gonna, call him out. He performed like everyone else did, awful, appallingly. He shouldn't be coming for anyone. And I get he's doing the captain thing. Let me protect my team, my manager, this, that, and the other. There's so many ways he could have worded that better, and he worded it poorly. And that's just not what we want to hear after what happened. All the apology was all great. That's all good. Yeah. Moyes right now, you don't need to be putting your neck out on the line for that man because he should have gone a long time ago. So it was a massive error from Rice. Same way Moyes' interview, it was even worse. Him talking about, I think, expectations because of how well the past 2 years have been, now fans are expecting a bit more. Like, are you stupid? Like, when have West Ham fans ever been happy with relegation battle? Just because you got a 6th and 7th. Now all of a sudden we think that, relegation ain't good enough for West Ham. Like, he's an absolute disgrace, honestly. And yeah,
I mean, he's been relegated 3-4 times in the last 20 years?
Twice. Yeah, twice.
2005, 2012.
Yeah, twice.
Oh,
twice.
My bad.
There you go.
Sorry,
down.
Sorry, no. Sorry, you know what it is? I'm so used to seeing you fight for relegation that I thought one of those times you must have gone down. Sorry, my bad.
Well, I guess you're not paying attention clear enough to what's happening in the league. Mr. Pundit, Mr. Monday Night Football. But
you're damn right, and I'm not going to miss it tonight. You best believe that.
No, but when have any fan base, been content with a relegation battle? Like, the fans were singing, "You're getting sacked in the morning" to Moyes. That's the first time the away fans have really turned on Moyes, and he didn't like it.
He's not sacked in the morning, though. He's still there. And you guys had 3 shots, was it? To be fair, a lot of teams have been battered by Brighton away from home this season. So you're the first of many. We were battered at Brighton. Liverpool were battered at Brighton.
You didn't see the I don't know if you saw the full 90, mate.
Oh no, Lee ain't having this.
We wasn't, you know what I mean? We wasn't.
Oh, look at this.
Yeah, of course, yes. I forgot about you guys. Yeah, not Arsenal.
Brighton's a nice little trip for some.
But I tell you
Oh.
what, we were worse. Like, it don't matter about 7-0, yeah. We were the worst team in the league in the country this season. Our loss was worse than Man United's because at least Man United had moments in the game where they looked like they could do something, where they was on top for a bit.
Liverpool did not have that type of game. They would. What are you talking about? Are you talking about the weekend just gone? Man United.
Yeah, I'm talking about the 7-0. Like,
Whoa.
if you look at if you compare their performance to our performance, our game was one-sided from the first whistle to the last whistle. We was nowhere near. We were just passengers in that whole game. We offered nothing. We could not pass the football. We could not pass at all. 5-yard passes from every player. Just awful.
What happened?
He took a bit out, you know.
What happened though?
Last week,
Paqueta
Paqueta.
play in the same free role he played against.
Nah, like, do you know what?
Didn't Aguerd start? I saw Areola. Areola, who's one of the potentially the bargains of the summer. I saw him with a lovely pass straight to Brighton's player, which then culminated in you conceding your third goal.
Nah, we're not doing this.
Players. Didn't Jared Bowen inform Jared Bowen? Deckers, leader, legend, whatever it is you call him. They all played. Ben Rama started. Isn't that what you wanted? They all started. So what happened?
Listen, we're not doing this. We're not doing this player agendas right now.
There's no player agenda. There's no player agenda.
It's a lack of consistency, isn't it?
I literally listed all your favorites, all the guys that you want playing. They played and you didn't win. So I'm asking you, what's happened?
Yeah,
because last week you were very quick to tell us about the individual performances of Paqueta and of these guys at home to Nottingham Forest. But now against Brighton, I haven't heard a single name on because I didn't watch the game, so I am quite intrigued to hear about these individual performances. I would love to know what happened.
When they win, it's because of the players. When they lose, it's Moyes.
No,
that's
like,
a great point.
No, I gave Moyes credit, yeah.
I didn't see you give him an ounce of credit last week. You didn't give him a single whiff of credit last week.
Because it was Nottingham Forest, worst away team in the league.
Exactly. And yet you were... So you listen to what you just said. The worst away team in the league. And yet look at how you were gassing up your players last week.
I weren't gassing them up.
Yes, you were.
Yes, you were.
Yes, you were.
They done some good things in the game.
Yes, you were. Look at how you were gassing your players last week. And now what did you just say? The worst away team in the league.
How many shots did you have on goal? 3, 2 on target.
What, Brighton?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was something like that. They weren't convincing, and Bowen had one straight at the keeper, an absolute howler.
How was it?
That's what I'm saying. I can't call out individuals because the whole team was bad. So doesn't mean Paqueta's not good enough, or Areola's not good enough, or they don't live up to this. Or
we're just using your words, brother.
I'm just saying, right?
Your words, not ours. These are your words.
When Toby hits you with that, brother, it's a long day.
They're your words. So I don't know why you're saying it's not an agenda. They're your words.
Twisting everything, right? Twisting. And that's what you do. You twist my words, right? All I'm saying is Moyes, for a start, I don't know if this even would have changed the result, but playing Souček, persisting to play Souček as a number 10 when he cannot pass the ball at all. None of the players were passing well, but he was just awful. It's decisions like that in the key area just knocks on to everything else. And then we go in at half-time, we're 1-0 down, and you think, okay, change it. We're not in the game. We're not getting close to Brighton. Brighton were brilliant. I'd take nothing away. Still, we should have had moments in the game when you're behind, when you're chasing the game. That's the point where you go, right, we've got nothing to lose. We need to go for it. We need to start creating chances. We need to put the pressure and throw bodies forward. He didn't make the substitutions at the right time. Skamaka stayed on the bench. It don't make sense. Ings was isolated up front. Why are you playing Souček behind Ings? What's Souček going to do for Ings?
So wait, you trying to tell me Souček was playing in the 10 and Paqueta, bro? Lord Jesus.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
This is the Weghorst thing all over again. Really,
crazy.
isn't it?
That is
wow.
That's crazy for Moyes. I have to take credit for it. That's crazy for Moyes.
You know what I mean? But so how can I really? It's Moyes, and he's not He's not changing anything.
Is he playing against you? Why would he do that? I don't understand what Souček has ever shown in his career to play as a number 10, apart from
And he
what?
took Ben Rama off at half time. He took Ben Rama off at half time. The guy who can literally create something out of nothing. Yeah, see his goal against Man United. That's what Ben Rama can do. You take him off at half time and leave Souček on. And he said, oh, well, I brought Fornals on because his defensive capabilities. I thought we were getting overrun a bit and I thought he could help. How many goals did we concede in the second half? You know what I mean? Like, we conceded a penalty before, right? With Benrahma on the pitch. A brainless penalty to give away from Bowen. But still, that was it. Nothing from open play. Moyes makes his masterclass change of, well, I need more defensive, support with Fornals, and we concede 3 goals. How is this man in the job?
He's
shit. He's shit. He's a shit manager.
I'm looking at the bottom 5, and I want to get this from you, Lee, because I remember we kind of all said that West Ham are probably too good to go down, too much quality in the team. But Bournemouth this weekend put up a fight. Southampton have put up fights. I mean, they beat us literally, a couple of weeks back. Everton have Sean Dyche, which I think is already a massive advantage, but they still need to get points on the board. And Leeds are down there as well. Is it inconceivable that West Ham actually go down, like legitly now? Because there's only 13 games left. I know people are saying that it's too good to be true. You still don't believe it?
Nah, I don't. I
think they've got enough, haven't they? They've got enough.
This is what worries
me. They shouldn't be in this position. I don't know why they are in this position, really. But. And I don't think it's all down to the manager. I really don't. I think he was good enough last year. All of a sudden, he's not this year. I just think
wasn't Lee. He wasn't good enough, and I'll tell you why. Right. And by the way, he was playing there. Where's was Souček playing? He was playing behind the striker, where he's been playing for the past few games. He's been playing much further forward. Paqueta's been in the 8, so straight. The thing is, and I looked at this stat. In 365 days, a year, we've won 2 games away from home. 2, right? This bad run of form started last season. We got ourselves, early on in the first half, up to the heights of 4th, but we had such a disastrous second half of the season, we dropped down to 7th. So this rot has been in for a while. And I think Moyes he overachieved. He took a team that was low on confidence, that was not running, had the worst running stats in the league, and he made a simple change, got the team running, got Antonio up front again, got the most out of Antonio, got someone like Bowen in, who also is a runner. Souček, he's a marathon, runner. So... And that's what, and so the team with that counter attack in, we caught a lot of teams out, but it's not sustainable. He was never going to be a long-term sustainable option. So it looks good because of what he's done earlier on, but he overachieved. And we've been so crap now for over a year. It just Europe has papered over so many cracks. We kept losing games, and we was like, it's fine because we're in Europe. Oh, it's because of Europe. Oh, we beat Sevilla, but we go and lose to flipping, I don't know, Fulham or something like, or whoever was we was losing to last year. The only team, by the way, those 2 teams that we've beaten away from home, Aston Villa when they had Gerrard and Norwich. Those are the only teams we've beat away from home in the year. It's not good enough. It's not good enough. And Moyes, he spent 200 million this season over 2 windows. And this is what he produces. And he's trying to shirk responsibility, trying to say, oh, yeah, well, it's because there's such high expectations that the fans are unhappy. No one can tell me that's not stupid. That's not just a complete stupid thing to say. And I think we could go down because of that. Like I said, that away record, right? We've got 5 away games, right? So more home than away. But the home games we've got 5 away games coming up, which we could all lose considering our record. Our home games, we've got Arsenal, Liverpool, Newcastle, and Man United, right?
Jesus.
So that's it. And in 3 other games, I think Southampton, Leeds, and Villa, right? So those games you look at and you go, right, we have to win. We win those, that's 34 points. That's a big if. and then we've got to try and get something out of the rest of the games. It's a tall task.
Yeah, that's why I bring it up, because I don't think it's just nailed on that I would. I mean, again, if you guys get relegated, it will be mad. But I do think it's going to be close at this point, because it doesn't.
And
look
we've
like
got Europe, by the way.
Yeah, you got Europe as well. But you should probably sack that off
tonight last year, apparently, which was the reason why we kept losing games. Oh, we played in Europe on Thursday. That's why we lost on Sunday. Well, if that was a problem, then we'll see how that affects us. So. Yes, it's not looking good, and we've left ourselves in a situation now where they're looking at it. The board are like, well, if we sack him, we've got to spend 7 million, and then we've got that point where it's gone too late. Who do we bring in? So you have to pay to sack him, pay to get someone else in to keep you up. They've left it way too late, and now I feel like we're stuck with him to the end of the season. And I just think no matter what happens, I don't care if he wins us the Conference League, keeps us up, all of that stuff, he has to go. But
let me ask you one final question before we move on to Arsenal or Tottenham. I'm going to let Lee decide this. Would you rather win the Conference League and get relegated, or stay up in 17th and lose the Conference League?
I'd rather at this point, and this is a thing that goes, a debate that runs in West Ham.
It's like, if you can't do one, then trying to juggle two is a long day.
No, I would rather stay up, because look, I would love to win that competition. I'd love to win a trophy. I'd love to see West Ham win one, and I could, but I couldn't give as much chest and much smoke to Tobs and them as they deserve, because we'd be relegated.
You couldn't give it any.
No. But yeah, and then it's like you just don't know when you're getting back up, and the impact we'd have to sell a load of players on the cheap. Even Lee's favorite player, Declan Rice. And we'd be in that stadium. Imagine that ground in the Championship. I know, you've been outside them. It's Lee. I think you've been there. To's been there.
Yeah.
It would be horrible. It would be terrible, right? And this is the thing. Our fans, right, say, oh, well, we've got such a great fan base. We'd still fill it because we did at Upton Park. If Upton Park was 60,000 seats, we'd fill that in the Championship. This ground, so many fans I know have given up their season tickets because they don't like
it. They don't like the stadium. Yeah.
They don't like the stadium. So in the Championship, when we're facing Luton and teams like that, it'd be like half empty. It's hard. We cannot go down. Honestly, Moyes, he really needs to, I think, be getting a lot more heat from the press. The press have been giving him an easy ride, really an easy ride, and he's done a horrendous job. He really has in this season.
Yeah, I can't argue with that. To be fair, with the quality of players you have and the amount of money spent, it doesn't.
I'm broken, really man. I'm broken. He's broke me. He's broken me.
We'll see if you're still broken when we get to the Tottenham segment, because I'm sure you would have cheered up.
That's it.
But Lee, talk to us about your win, man, because I was watching your game and I just can't believe it. Like, genuinely, you're 2-0 down. I'm still not really getting over, because I remember the live chat when I was doing the watch along. Everyone was like, "Oh yeah, Arsenal are 2-0 down." I said, "Guys, they're probably going to come back. They're most likely going to come back." But with only a couple of minutes to go, 2-2, I was thinking, you know what? In the back of my head, you might actually drop points here. Maybe you're actually not going to score a late winner. And then out of all people, Nelson, for no reason, unprovoked, out of nowhere, just smashes it in. I don't think he's ever even scored a goal like that. Left foot, top corner.
Nah.
Bro, it just doesn't make any sense, man. Sure, do you have yourself as favourites right now for this league? Because it feels like this is your time.
Well, when you get things like that, you feel like it's maybe written in the stars, but we've still got a difficult April to get over, So I think that it was very, very important that we won that game. I think we've got to win our next couple of games. We've got, if I'd be really honest about it, we've got Fulham, which is going to be tough, but, if you're going to win leagues, you've got to go there and win. Then we've got Palace, and then we've got Leeds at home. So if we can pick up 9 points from those games, that gives us a little bit of a cushion going into a very, very difficult April, where we have got some difficult games. We've got obviously
City away,
City in that light. We've got Liverpool, Chelsea, and West Ham in that run of games. Now, people might go, "Oh, West Ham's not hard," but it is when it's a local derby. They're going to be fighting for their lives, and it's always a difficult place to go. So, It's a real difficult month. So we need to be. If we go into April and we end up being 5 points clear at the end of it, or even 3, I think then we've got a very, very good chance. But it's going to be tough, but you can't. I know it was a great. Listen, it's a great win and everything like that, but you can't keep doing that.
Can't keep conceding goals. You're conceding
goals and defending like that, because somewhere along the line you'll get caught out. You can't be going 2-0 down and getting away with it. You can get it once, maybe twice a season, because you've got the quality, but ultimately you're not going to do that. So they've got to address that. It's a really weird thing, because I look at all our defenders and I wouldn't swap any of them, but as a unit or something there, we're conceding far too many opportunities. Well, even against Everton, we was caught on the counter on 3 or 4 occasions, and they didn't take their chances. But the better teams are going to take their chances. But in saying that, the fighting spirit of these youngsters, as there's some young players in there, is fantastic. The bond that they've got as a team is unbelievable. I like what I see when substitutes that have not even got on going mad at the end of the game. So that shows you there's a good spirit in the football club. And I think that we've got a really, really good chance of pushing Man City all the way. Manchester City are not going to go away.
No,
they're not going to go away. They're not going to do. They're not going to have a couple of bad results from now until the end of the season. They're going to be there and thereabouts every game. I thought that they was very, very professional against Newcastle. What I see of it, I thought Newcastle had them at one stage, but quality prevails. So it's going to be a really, really tough running. But when you get games like that, you do maybe think that it is, because at the end of it, you're at the game and you're thinking, all right, well, we'll take a point. It's still 3 points in front at the end of it, and we'll go for this. And all of a sudden, a last minute winner like that, left foot as well from Nelson. And the fact that with Nelson, I've got to give him more praise than anybody, because the last couple of games he's been actually not even good enough to get in the squad.
Yeah.
Been left out. The only reason he was in the squad is because Eddie was injured. So the mentality of someone so young with those disappointments to come back and then not only get on the bench and then get the opportunity and do what he done was fantastic. And the other thing is, which I think goes under the radar a little bit, and you need those sort of players. Smith Rowe come on, assists. Ben White comes on, scores. Nelson assists and scores. So it's not always your starting 11 that do the business. You need contributions from other areas and on the bench as well. And to get that was fantastic. And I will say this, for the first time, I've actually thought this is why we come to the Emirates, because, the aftermath after the game, fans weren't, leaving. It was about 30 minutes before they could clear the ground. It was incredible. And then outside, everybody was, singing, and that's what football's about, getting those pleasures and things like that. And it just seems like a real good bond with the club at the moment, fan base and everything. And our captain, he doesn't slag us off. He asks for inspiration when we're down, and that's the sort of captains that you want.
So you're saying Declan Rice won't be captain in Arsenal if he joins?
Well, he might. I don't know what Declan Rice will be like if he does come to Arsenal. I think sometimes in a marriage you can be happy for so many years, and it's coming to the end. And I think there's a divorce on the cards there between West Ham and Declan Rice. I think that it's happening. And listen, one thing I will say. Harry Kane's had his issues trying to leave Spurs, but he's never ever criticised the Spurs fans or implied it in any shape or form. I don't really understand why Declan Rice has done that, if I'll be honest. Very, very strange. And let's hope that it's a nice, amicable split instead of a really messy one.
Tell you what, if he goes Arsenal, he can fuck off. Like, the agenda
he will be going to another London club, I think. So I don't.
You
know
think?
really,
Yeah, but
I don't think you can really win here.
In London.
Yeah, because
Like-
Six City, man. You know that. You live here.
Yeah,
Corbs
but
says,
if Man United get Qatar owners, mate, he's going there. Let's just say
you
that.
want him to go there. You wish. I don't think that's guaranteed, especially because he just had a kid as well. And then maybe put him
And
through
don't say
school,
London club
doesn't want to
because
move away.
Spurs are not in the conversation. Let's just put that out there. I just have to clarify that because Spurs aren't even in the in the same universe when it comes to this conversation. So.
There's people in the chat saying cheer up Tobs. There's people in the chat saying that they're resigned to Arsenal winning the league. Tobs is are you starting to break? I was chatting to Abby this morning. She's starting to break, starting to think that it's inevitable just purely because of last minute winner at Villa Park, last minute winner here. He's wearing people down. I don't know how do you feel now?
Whatever, man. Honestly,
6th of March.
Whatever, bro. I don't really care.
Really?
I'll care. If they win it in May, I'll care. But right now, I'm not really going to be too bothered about Arsenal winning games that I expect them to win. Like I expect them to beat Bournemouth. So when they came back and won 3-2, I wasn't like, oh god, those wankers again. Whatever, bro. They should be beating Bournemouth. It is what it is. It's not over yet. It's not over yet. When come 28th of May, if they have won the league title, then we'll talk. That one's going to hurt me. I'll be lying if I say it's not going to hurt me. But until that happens, leave it in God's hands and leave it in Man City's hands.
Fair enough. Lawless, I know you're stinging, bro. Every time the Arsenal conversation pans to you, you just somehow release.
Very disappointed in him, I am. Very disappointed in him.
I'm kind of surprised. I knew he didn't like Tottenham. I know he don't like Chelsea, but I didn't
really
expect
like any London.
I didn't expect you to
No,
like
I know. So when we went out that time, he was slagging off Crystal Palace. You know what I mean? I think it's just him. I think he just doesn't like any London team. I think that's what it is now. The jealousy you can see written all over his head.
The thing is, Lee,
Spurs is because of that now. I'm going to believe it now.
Lee, I would love nothing more than to see your team win the league, right? For you and certain fans, Kens, all of them, to experience it, Mems, all of them. But I just can't live with the aftermath of what it will mean. It will be unbearable. So for your joy,
It will be.
it's not enough. Yeah, it honestly, we're never really. We still hear about, like, is yours gold? Is yours gold? Every 5 minutes they say. So
as well, you see, with all these goals conceded, is there any chance?
What do you mean yours? You haven't got one.
Well, don't say it to me, but just hearing them say it annoys you. Like, come on, wake up.
You're not going to get that treatment because you need to actually win the league first before
My
that
Conference League will be.
You see, with all the goals you're conceded, Lee, is there any chance that this new Polish centre back is going to come into the team at some point, or is he just?
Well, listen, I think he's been brought at this moment in time for the Europa League games.
Okay.
I think we'll make changes for the Europa League, because you can't keep doing what we're doing. I say what we're doing. We haven't been playing really that many midweek games at this moment in time, but now we're going to be playing regular. Hopefully, if it pans out. 3 times a week, so you're going to need the squad. So yeah, I expect him to play Thursday. I expect Arsenal to rotate quite heavily for Thursday because it's an unbelievable, massive game on Sunday. So we're fortunate that as I say, we've been fairly injury free, but now all of a sudden we've got our three mate. Well, the players that play number 9 for us. I wouldn't say centre forward, but you know what I mean. All out. So that's a big worry. So now all of a sudden Martinelli's probably going to have to play when he's not been available. When we want to give him a rest. So it's going to be really interesting to see. But I think he'll play. I think Vieira will get another run out, and we're still like at the end of it, we've got Tierney and Tommy Asu to come in. They were our 2 fullbacks last season, and when they were available, we was like, look, when we need it. So all of a sudden, that's why we've improved so much, because we've got good players in to replace these guys, but they've still got an important part to play. And as I said earlier on, when you've got players scoring from the bench and all that, it is a squad game now, and it's not just that first 11. And I think that squad players and what they do from now to the end of the season is going to be massive for us, because when you look at Manchester City, they rotate all the time, but no one really says too much about that because their rotation is they've got quality for quality, you know, and other teams haven't got that, and certainly we haven't. But in certain areas we have. But you know, you look at Tomiyasu, who I thought was fantastic for us last season. I'm a big fan of his. A little bit off of it on Saturday, mainly because he's not had the game time. So this is where it could be important that we get these Europa League games to give them a little bit of game time. You know, if you're playing Champions League,
you can't do it.
You can't do that. You know,
No.
so we've got that Europa League maybe coming to as an advantage. It can be an advantage and disadvantage. I'll let you know at the end of this week what I think of that.
Yeah, because the assumption I made was basically get kicked out and focus on the league. But the way you're obviously talking about, obviously now you got depth and you have players that you need to keep sharp and probably make sense.
So that's how I look at it. Like, you know, look, if we was to win the Europa League, but it cost us losing the title, I wouldn't be happy with that. You know what I mean? If you could say to me now, look, you're going to go out of the Europa League against Sporting, but you're going to win the Premier League, I'm going to bite your hand off for it. Like,
I'm going to take it immediately.
That's how I feel.
Yeah, I know you got to go at half, bro, so I'll let you go. It's been a pleasure having you on.
Well, I'll show you what, I'm going to listen to Toby in the car then. Like, you know what I mean?
Toby, Toby's not a happy man, so I thought let me spare him until the last two clubs. Do you know what I mean? Because I've never seen a more angry review. But guys, Lee, let them know where to find you quickly, bro.
Like anytime, like Lee Judgy TV, if you want to come over there and see us, that'd be much appreciated. And thanks for the invite back on again, boys. Enjoyed it.
Yeah, pleasure. Guys,
take care, boys.
Big up.
Take care, Toby, and you, Lawless.
Have a good one.
Make sure you subscribe, guys. Lee's link is in the description down below in the comments. Now, here we are.
This is where I cheer up a bit.
The final three, yeah? Because Toby, I haven't really had you on a show since, well, actually, no, Big Six, to be fair, since the Sheffield United game. But Lawless hasn't, I don't think, spoken to you since then. But then you lost again. I watched your review, bro. I think it was after Wolves, I think it was. Yeah, because I don't think you did one for Sheffield. I can't remember. I have never seen you so angry after that defeat to Wolves. Like, you were fuming. Beyond phone call, beyond trolling, beyond that, I was actually like, let me leave this man in his zone because he is pissed. I didn't even say too much in the chat. You were dragging your own chat at one point. You were dragging your own damn viewers. It was kicking off. I couldn't believe it, fam. Bro, I didn't get to watch the game. I've only seen the highlights. I've heard about the substitution. I watched your review. What the hell is going on, bro? It actually sounds like sabotage at this point. Like, genuinely, that's what you made it sound like, sabotage.
They're just clueless right now, man. They're just clueless. They don't know how to make the right decision to actually change the game in Spurs' favor. And I'm sick to death of them underutilizing our squad. Like, it's actually making me physically sick how little they refuse to actually rotate, to call upon players at certain moments. It just makes no fucking sense. It makes no sense whatsoever. Wolves had no shots the entire first half. Yeah, we put in a decent performance in the first half. But what was holding Spurs back in the first half? What team creates 11 attempts at goal and only, I would say maybe, 11 attempts at goal, not one was a clear-cut chance. It tells you that you're putting pressure on the opposition. You're getting closer and closer to scoring, but you need probably a bit more incision, right? So any logical backroom staff or team or whatever you want to call it would say, okay, you know what? Maybe with a couple tweaks, maybe not straight away. Fine. If you don't want to make changes straight away because of how well you played in the first half, fine. Yeah. But when you see the game is going away from you and you still don't make changes, you're watching, you still don't make no changes. And then when you make the changes, it's changes that will probably set you even further back in your pursuit of a goal. It doesn't make sense to me. That's why I was so irate. Like, I wasn't expecting Spurs to win. I predicted a draw on the Big Six on Friday, simply because I know what type of game this is and I know what type of team we are this season. We're just not a good side and we're not consistent. one week you beat this team, the other week you'll lose, and especially coming off the back of that Sheffield United result, I didn't expect 3 points. But what I expect is that when the game is not going the way you want it to go, you have to be proactive. You have to take it upon yourself to change the game in a way that suits your team. You play to your players' strengths and you utilize the fucking players that you spent money on.
Yeah.
Don't utilize players that aren't gonna be here in 3 months' time.
Bro, this Lucas Moura fetish has come from nowhere. I don't understand. Like, genuinely, I actually don't understand. Where was he injured previously? Because I haven't seen him
He's been injured all season. He's been injured all season.
So I just don't. I don't get where he's. Why is he now the like one of the main guys coming off the bench? It doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to me. And all I can think of is that, like, these guys, it's like they're going out of their way to do as bad a job as possible. Genuinely, that's what it feels like right now. Like, you don't even care about being here anymore. Fine. If you're telling me that you're just going through the motions, you don't want to be here, whatever, right? But it's not even that they just don't
make
care.
logical changes.
It's like they're actively going out of their way to make so much mess. How much mess can I make of this squad? How many dumb decisions can I make game to game? It's like they're having a challenge, and
he wants to get sacked. He just wants to take. He wants his money, and then go. He wants a little payout. He wants out of this team.
They won't sack him, will they? Really now, like
They should sack him because I don't know what they're waiting for. He doesn't want to stay. He doesn't want to stay, and him and his backroom team, they can't get it right. There is no benefit.
Contract is up in the summer, isn't it?
Yeah, but to check the loss of Champions League football, you would make that money back surely if he was to actually qualify.
My thing is this, right? Conte and his guys are doing such a bad job. Don't tell me about no win against West Ham or Chelsea. I don't give 2 fucks. I'm talking about the job that they've done as a whole this season. They've done such a bad job, right? That it doesn't take a worldie manager to come in and give Spurs a bit of an uplift with the players that we have available. We already know our deficiencies. We already know that we don't have a good defense. We already know that we don't have the balance we want in terms of the midfield profiles. But we have, more than anything, a squad that's capable of getting better results and forget even the results, better performances than we have seen in recent months. It is not good enough. I said to you, remember on London Club's Carnage last Monday when we were talking about the Chelsea game, we were talking about the game. I didn't even think Spurs played well. I didn't think we played well.
We were just horrendous.
Chelsea were just bad. We just saw a team was there for the taking, and we did enough to win. We didn't play well. We didn't create many chances. We didn't keep pressure on you for 90 minutes straight. We had 8 attempts at home against this Chelsea side. Do you get what I'm saying? So Wolves the other day, I think we had something like 21. I think it was like 20 attempts in total. But there's no way on earth I'm coming away from that game thinking Wolves didn't deserve to win that game, because when it mattered in the second half, they created the majority of the dangerous chances. We had one chance at the start of the second half with Son. He hits the crossbar, and from then onwards, it was all Wolves. Even when they scored and went 1-0 up, you couldn't even see Spurs building up a proper head of steam. No genuine chances at goal. No concerted effort to actually get itself back into the game. Stellini's talking about, he didn't think they needed to make any changes at the time, but then eventually we ran out of energy. I'm like, surely you could have seen that 10 minutes earlier, 20 minutes earlier, that the team needs something different. You've got them penned in. You haven't scored. Change something. Change the shape. Bring on another midfielder. Bring on a better attacker. Try and get back the territorial dominance you had in the first half and pen them in. Push them back, because all we were doing in the second half is inviting more pressure. Eventually, pressure burst pipes.
There's a good question there, by the way. What happened to Kulusevski?
Yeah.
Because I saw an Arsenal counter post that Reece Nelson has got more goals than Kulusevski. And I know Kulusevski's primary objective is not to score goals, but that's outrageous. You expect him to chip in with a few, and he has not.
He hasn't been the same since the injury, isn't it?
No, he's not been anywhere near the levels.
I've spoken about this though. Kulusevski's been shit since he's come back from his injury. I think Chelsea was his best performance. I thought Chelsea he actually played well. And you said a point, Lawless. In this team, Kulusevski is not someone who I don't know what it is. I feel like his role in the team is not to score goals. It's weird. Like people will say, no, that's a bit of a cop out. But when you actually watch Spurs play, for all intents and purposes, his job in the team is to create for the likes of Son and Kane. Every single time he comes in on the left-hand side, he's always looking to pass. He's always looking to cross. My guy, start shooting. Start shooting. He had one effort in the first half against Wolves that was really good. He shot first time and it forced a really good save from what's their goalkeeper's name? I can't remember his name. Jose Sarr, right? Forced a really good save. We need to see more of that because he's actually got a good left foot.
He's got a good shot on him, yeah.
You got a good left foot. He scored 5 goals in like 4 months last year, but you've got 2 goals in I don't know how many months this season. It's not good enough. He needs to
goals
be better
from around the pitch. Other areas, just Kane.
Exactly. The bottleneck is Kane. Kane is the one. If Kane don't score, who else is scoring? And that doesn't even make sense. And that's why I look at beyond looking at some of these players, I have to look at the coaching setup because it beggars belief that you can have a guy in Richarlison who hit double figures in 3 out of 4 seasons for Everton, 0 goals. Kulusevski struggling to score.
Looked like he could hit double figures last the way he started.
And Duma, even for Villarreal last season, double figures, can't even get on the pitch. I'm sorry,
I don't get that.
It's inexcusable that we can have the attacking profiles that we have and be struggling to actually put goals past teams week in, week out. I get it. Ultimately, it's all about the structure of your team, or the midfield, the defense, etc., etc. But any half decent coach, right, or better yet, any coach who is performing to a decent level would be able to get a better tune out of this attack. And these guys are struggling. They're making it seem like the most impossible job to get these guys to score goals. It doesn't make sense. And of course, people bring in their pelters. Oh, Richie's shit. Oh, Son is declining. Oh, this, that, and the third. These guys can't all turn bad overnight. I'm sorry. They just can't.
That's what bro, when everybody's playing poorly.
They can't just turn bad overnight. I'm not hearing it anymore. They cannot just turn bad overnight. Even Harry Kane, that's scoring all the goals. How many chances does Harry Kane get in a game of football?
Very few chances.
He was man-marked by Lamina and Kilman in the game, so he wasn't really able to do his thing. But how many chances did Spurs create for Harry Kane?
I would love to see Harry Kane in a team that actually create a lot of chances for him. He would break records also, to be honest.
It's ridiculous.
In terms of the amount of goals he scores in a season.
Fundamentally, as a side, we don't play a way that gets us enough meaningful opportunities towards our opposition's goal. We don't. The only times we do look like we can put a lot of goals past the team is when the team's incredibly shit. Literally.
Yeah.
When the team is
so good to see, though, man. You were so excited when you got Conte, right? And we all heard Conte's brought in to win.
Can I ask you a question? Can you blame me for being excited about Conte?
No, but it's just joyous, right? Because it was all this talk about him coming in to help Spurs win a trophy and win now. You're not even getting to any finals. Like, are you even getting to a semi-final? Did you get to Carabao semis? No semis. You're still in the Champions League, but we know you're about to get knocked out of that. Got knocked out Sheffield Wednesday. You're not winning the Premier League. And guess what? You're not getting top 4. That's not happening. So
you're calling it now, yeah, Liverpool.
I'm calling it. Liverpool are getting that 4th spot. Not just because of the 7-0, right? Liverpool are on the rise. Tottenham, look at the mess that they're in. If you back anyone out of those, Tottenham, Liverpool are like 5th now, right?
Yeah, they're 5th, with game in hand, I think.
Game in hand. They're getting it. So big Conte win now, Antonio. No trophies, no finals, no Champions League.
They would actually go into 4th because their goal difference is way better as well. They'd actually go into 4th if they win their game in hand. Bluff. Now, do you know what? Yeah, the more time that goes on, the more I understand why Toby said top 4 is so achievable. Because I really just didn't see it, bro. It's taken.
Do you think they're getting it though?
Spurs. I think Spurs. We've won. I think we've lost like 4 of our last 8 Premier League matches. Like 9, we've lost like
Newcastle
9
hasn't won any of their last 5 as well. Newcastle no wins.
9 of our last 18 Premier League matches. Like Spurs, we only lost 11 matches last season.
Just pisses me off.
We are on 9 losses with 12 games to go. Spurs are, I'm guaranteeing we're going to lose at least 4 more matches this season. At least 4. So my point to you when I said you must, it's factual. And your fans will fight me on this. It's factual because we are not a good side. We don't have...
You must, with that manager and that spend, you have to...
Yes, you're right.
If we were serious, we could have made it. It's a disgusting top 4 race
right.
again.
You're right.
Again.
You're right. And Matisse watched my post-match. We must. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. If it wasn't a must, I wouldn't be so angry. I wouldn't be so irate. Top 4 should have been the bare minimum, and it still should be the bare minimum this season.
You got 40 points at least. You got past that mark.
We're not delivering.
And Pedro Porro, I didn't get to see the full game. I don't know how well he played, but he hit the bar.
Decent. He was decent. I'm seeing people trying to come for him. He was decent. He was one of the better players on the day. Good passing, good crossing, good free kick. Like, he's clean technically, and I think at times he is a bit over exuberant in defensive phases, but he's diligent in his work. He's working hard. I don't really know. I couldn't come away from that game with a negative perception of Pedro Porro. If anything, I was furious that he went off, because when you're chasing the game, you need someone who can actually unlock a team, and he can do that with his passing, with his distribution, with his crossing, with his ability to actually go past players. Like, he looked like someone that you'd want on the pitch when you're trying to actually break down an opposition, and yet he went off.
What minute did Wolves score?
They scored in the 81st minute.
So in the 8, so you had about 10 minutes plus, 10 around about 10 minutes, just say that, at a minimum, and there was no formation change, and there was no. We
had 10 minutes left, and then of course, in typical fashion, once the game looks like it's basically beyond reach, then we start doing this thing we do where we throw on basically all our attackers and play this weird formation against Sheffield United. Danjuma, Kulusevski, and Kane all came on. Kulusevski's playing wing back. Danjuma's playing right wing.
Rubbish, man.
The other day, Richarlison came on. I couldn't even tell you where he was playing because I just lost interest. I knew once that goal went in, Spurs were losing this game. There's no, as I said, there's no concerted effort or genuine belief in what is
stopping him from going Richarlison up top, Danjuma off the left, Kane in the 10, Kulusevski off the right. If Son's not playing well, etc. Why not get people in their correct positions where they actually are?
Because this guy would rather see Spurs drown than switch to a back 4. It's only when the game is dead and buried that we see a change to a back 4. The only other time where we've seen a proactive change to a back 4 this season, and it's worked in our favor, is Chelsea. It's Chelsea away from home, and it worked in your favor, and yet you don't try it again. Spurs, with Conte and Stellini and Mason, whoever, right? The only way we can see more than 3 attacking players, I'm not talking about wing backs, I'm talking about forwards or 10s or whatever. The only time Spurs can see attacking midfielders, more than 3 attacking midfielders, strikers, wingers, or forwards in the team is if 1 or 2 of them are playing wing back. Otherwise, it just doesn't happen.
Yeah,
it doesn't happen.
That actually is very reminiscent of the way we used to be as well. Remember when we were playing Sterling at wing back, Pulisic being wing back?
You could easily go to a 4-4-2, play Richarlison up top, play Kulusevski right mid, play Danjuma left mid. Stick with it. If you want to play the 2 midfield, stick with the 2 midfield. Just ditch the 4. We're chasing the game, and I'm seeing centre backs coming on. Like, how does this benefit Spurs? How does this benefit Tottenham when we're actually trying to create? It doesn't make any sense. Even thinking about it is getting me mad again, because it just
doesn't make sense.
It just makes me remember the Sheffield United game, and I was getting pelters from that nonsense Sheffield United fan channel for saying that any variation of Spurs side should beat Sheffield United. Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That was ridiculous.
It's not fucking ridiculous. They made 8 changes.
No. He's saying his opinion is ridiculous. Where's Sheffield United even in the championship anyway?
They're second.
Okay, yeah. Good team.
Okay, but Matisse, they are in the championship.
Yeah.
When they beat Spurs, it was a scalp. Why? Because you don't expect Sheffield United to beat Tottenham.
Mm-hmm. Especially a Tottenham that need a trophy and should be playing their strongest team. Why do you rest for cup games? I don't get it. I don't get it.
But Matisse, it's not even about resting for cup games.
Yeah,
When I list this team, there's no way on earth this team should be losing. Let me list this team for you.
Yeah, let me see this team because I didn't watch the game. I only watched the last 10 minutes after the 2 Premier League matches. And I couldn't believe what I was watching.
Fraser Forster, he's been starting all our Premier League matches recently. Pedro Porro, new 45 million acquisition from Sporting Lisbon. Sanchez is useless, not good enough, nowhere near. Fine, cool. Dyer, he's been irregular in the Premier League this season for us.
Yeah.
Right? Ben Davies playing
Regular.
left centre back. Right? And then Perisic, left wing back, who's played the majority of our Premier League matches. Why is that not good enough to beat Sheffield United? We know it's not good in general. We know it's not good in general, but why is that? Oh my God, how dare you change? Midfield, Højbjerg started against Chelsea, started against West Ham, started against Man City, he played. Pape Matar started against AC Milan and was probably our best midfielder on the night. And then up top, you have the Golden Boot winner of last season in Son Heung-min. You have Richarlison up top, and then you have that scrub Lucas Moura on the right-hand side.
That should have been Danjuma.
That should have been that. Exactly. And I said before the game, that should have been Danjuma. But irrespective, why can someone tell me that that team is not good enough to beat Sheffield United? Why do we need Harry Kane to come on? And okay, fine. Oh, you need Harry Kane? Harry Kane comes on 65 minutes. Did we win the game?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Did we win the game?
Okay, no, that's mad.
Oh, you need your strongest players. Harry Kane came on 65 minutes and had one chance in 25 minutes and was getting pelters from our fan base. How dare he miss that chance? One chance. So people think that this guy's Superman.
Yeah.
I challenge people to find me this invincible attacker that
has 100% conversion rate. Yeah.
One chance per game and hits it every single time. It makes no sense. Harry Kane came on 65 minutes. He had 25 minutes plus stoppage time. Nothing. Kulusevski came on. Nothing. Danjuma came on. Nothing. The setup, they only coach this team to play one way. And when that way doesn't work, they are bereft of ideas. They don't know what else to do. It's scary when you have a squad of 25, 26, 27 with different profiles that can actually give you variety in how you want to go about attacking teams. And you play the same way. You play the same way as you did against Chelsea, against Sheffield United. You play the same way you did against Man City, against West Ham. You play the same way you played against Arsenal, against Leicester. It's one size fits all. Only it doesn't fucking fit.
That is like you said, that is scary. That you can bring these players on and still not apply that pressure.
I'm just trying to think where do they go from here, because it seems like I know Toby's not confident. It doesn't seem like they're going to sack him, bro. It doesn't seem like they're going to sack him. And he is known, by the way, he is known for down tooling and trying to sabotage seasons when he's done, when he's not happy. Now he's gone through health issues, and I think someone was also trying to give the context of his friend passing and etc. So maybe he's going through it, and you know, if he is, then obviously we wish him well. And his assistant stepped in, but they were shit before him. One thing I will say is that from the moment he didn't sign that new contract and he didn't rubber stamp his future to the club, whatever reason it may have been, maybe the money wasn't coming in terms of the January transfer window, he wanted more backing, I don't know. But from the moment that didn't happen, you're leaving your squad of players in a state of confusion, because now they're taking orders from somebody who's not even committed to the club. So now how can you expect 100% commitment from players when the manager that is leading them and by voice is meant to be leading the way and motivating them, and you know, we need to win. What do you mean we need to win when you're not even staying here? It doesn't make any sense. For me,
who do they get in now though? Like
Cams was saying on Twitter that they should get Steve Cooper. I know Toby's spoken about Thomas Frank before. I can't remember if he wanted him or he was just saying that we could get him, etc. I think it was on Big Six. When it comes down to Tottenham, at the end of the day, they have over worshipped this manager for far too long. And I said it. He's a great manager, don't get me wrong. But if you don't get a trophy out of this man, you will have nothing to show for it. In fact, he will make you worse. And that's basically what's happened. That's basically what happened.
Right. And it's an L on me. You're right. It's an L on me. I'm definitely in that camp of overpraising. I have to firm the L. But now I'm firming the L, and I want my club to be as proactive as they were with Pochettino, as proactive as you were with Jose, and get rid of him. Simple.
Who would you bring in now though? Because like, what's the solution? Because I was always hesitant of saying, oh, we need to get rid of Potter immediately. Not
As long as it's not Ryan,
because I don't know who to bring in.
As long as it's not Ryan Mason, I'm willing to be flexible. As long as it's not Ryan Mason, I'm willing to be flexible. Right?
Fair.
It doesn't need Houdini. It doesn't need a rocket scientist. It just needs a good manager who's willing to actually utilize what he has at his disposal. Conte is a great manager who is almost insistent on not utilizing what he's been given, right? And making the squad look worse than it is. And I hate when managers do that. I hated it when Jose did it, and I'm hating it when Conte did it. Our squad was much worse under Jose. Much worse under Jose.
Yeah.
But why did I want Jose out? Because as bad as our squad was, you make it worse.
He would have won you a trophy, though. He would have won you a trophy.
Nah.
He was
To
never
be honest,
gonna win.
as much as I would love to troll, they
He was
weren't
never gonna
probably
win it.
beating that
And
season.
let me tell you this. Hindsight
But they
is
should have kept him for the final. I don't agree with
agree.
sacking
I
Mason.
agree.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I don't agree with bringing in Mason.
I agree. And at the time, I was celebrating that. But I wasn't even celebrating them sacking him.
You were
before
just
the final.
relieved that it's over.
I'm just relieved. Just get rid of him. You know, like when a manager has his finger, his nails sort of dug into your club, like just get rid of him. He should have been sacked after Zagreb. They didn't sack him then. Should have been sacked after Chelsea. They didn't sack him then. They should have been sacked after Everton. They didn't sack him then. When are you going to sack this guy? Just sack him. So
Before a final. That's the stupid thing. He would have won
I'm
that.
starting to think there's clauses in Levy's
So Lawless,
contract.
let
Do
me-
not win
let me-
a cup at this club. Like I'm
Let me
not
tell you
paying.
this,
I'm not
let me
paying.
tell you this.
Maybe the players get bonuses if they win a cup, and Levy's just like fuck that. I'm not paying these guys no bonuses.
Lawless, so let me
Tell
be
me.
fair. Let me be fair. So, like honestly, and I've said this as well. I've said this on Touchline, and I've said this even on socials. Like in hindsight, it is absolute lunacy to sack Jose Mourinho 4 days before final and put Ryan Mason in charge. I didn't want Ryan Mason. I didn't even know Ryan Mason was in the running for a job. So when I found out it was him that I was taking over, my spirit never took to that. Yeah, and you can go see it in my reactions. I was never ever a fan of Ryan Mason being interim Spurs manager. I never wanted that, but I wanted Jose Mourinho gone. Now on the final point, you're right. There's no way you should be. There's no way on earth you should be sacking a man 4 days before final. It doesn't even matter, let alone Jose, right? Any manager who's got you to a final, there's no way you should be sacking them 4 days before. What this club did, which is so incompetent, is they didn't prioritize a cup final. Why would they? All they care about is the bottom line. So they only sacked him at that period in time because that was when it looked like top four wasn't going to happen. Right?
They didn't want him winning that final because if he wins it, then it makes the whole situation of sacking him a lot more difficult.
I think they still could have sacked him even if he won it. They still could have sacked him, but like you said, you make a good point. They couldn't have sacked him straight after that final. It would have been crazy, right? But Jose Mourinho was not going to win that final. Lawless. This is a team that got battered 3-0 by Zagreb. Newcastle. I remember we went away to Newcastle with no Callum Wilson, with no Dwight Gale. They had nothing. And they should have beaten Spurs. Again, Everton, no Richarlison, no Dominic Calvert-Lewin. They should have beaten Spurs. We were losing left, right, and centre. There was no chance Jose Mourinho was going to win that final.
I disagree, man. As bad you could look at that all in context. On a final, a cup final, just win this one game. He finds a way. It's using the dark arts, things like that. It's different to league football, finding that one game, this one night, right? Let me look at the guy is a genius when it comes to that. And, he's gone and ended quite a few trophy droughts, I'm not saying it's not nailed on. He definitely would have won it, but I don't think to say that there's no chance. Yeah, there's a very good chance. You have more chance of him than most other managers. So I'm seeing all these talks for De Zerbi and Thomas Frank. You ain't getting them right now. I think Spurs fans need to simmer down.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Why don't you think we can get De Zerbi or Thomas Frank? Fair enough. If you said right now, as in the context of this season,
This
that makes sense. We're not getting. You're right. We're not getting.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But if you mean in the summer, why can't Spurs get De Zerbi?
No, I think right now there's a chance in the summer.
Fair.
Right now to talk about if you sack them and trying to get them come mid-season, it's not happening. So, like for right now, that there needs to be a plan in place of if we sack Conte, pay him off, who is steering the ship? Because at the end of the day, you're still, as much as I'm saying you're not getting Europe, you're still in you're fourth. So you're leading the race for fourth place.
It's funny you asked that. So the safe option, you know who I'm talking about, the guy that you've been noshing yourself over, right? He's the one that a lot of fans are piping up with now. He would be a safe option because
But
he's
would
managed.
he definitely come in now? Like,
would he? He definitely would. He definitely would come in now. I'm still not sure if I want him over a new manager. My preference is still going to side towards a new manager. It's going to always side towards a new manager simply because I don't want these guys sinking their claws into Poch and ruining the good work he did before because they're just a mess. The hierarchy, they don't create an environment to win. They don't create the expectation to win. And a manager, like as you see, the best of managers, the worst of managers, they suffer under this hierarchy. I genuinely would love for us to be taken over by these Bahrain.
Yeah, Levy was at the Grand Prix, was he?
Yeah, so I would love for us to be taken over by MSP and then Poch come in, right? But at this point in time, things are so bad with Conte that I genuinely would consider Poch. And to be honest, I don't really think it's a bad thing to consider Poch. Like Poch did a fantastic job at Spurs and was really and truly let down by this ownership. But you see how it's a vicious cycle, right? Let down by the ownership. So he comes back and, okay, now you're allowed to spend a bit more money, but you're still having to work under restrictions that Conte had to work
when you compare it to what everybody else is spending, is it even really more money anyway? Because like in comparison, it's not really anything, is it?
If I'm Poch, like I look at that and he know everything that you just said, Tobs. He probably knows, right? He's experienced it. They sacked him for a start. If I'm looking at him, I go, look, I could come in and take that Spurs job like that now, or I can wait in the summer when there's going to be a lot of clubs available. I'm going to have a much bigger idea of what they're working with in terms of personnel, budget, all of that sort of stuff, than him just taking that first job that comes cool and go, because it's Spurs.
But my thing is this though, like I can see the obvious negatives, and the negatives are making me want someone new who hasn't been tarnished by this hierarchy. But then at the same time, I feel like this hierarchy are going to tarnish any manager that they have. So what's the difference between getting someone new and getting someone like Poch? And then when you actually look at the positives that Poch would bring, I know for a fact Pochettino will get more out of the squad this season than Conte has done. I know that because I don't think it's as difficult as Conte and his guys are making it out to be. I believe that Pochettino with this group of players would get more this season than we've seen under Conte's management. I truly believe that. And then of course he's someone who already has a relationship with Daniel Levy. He has an affinity with some of the players. He's someone who could hit the ground running. Do you get what I'm saying? As opposed to a new manager. Imagine, look at some of these other managers as well. Like I'm seeing names like Ruben Amorim, Gallardo, all of the. I'm not even trying to knock them, because it seems like these are flavor of the month managers on Twitter. Amorim, I know he's doing a really good job at Sporting. I know Gallardo is the one coaching what is it, River Plate that he coaches? I can't
I'm not even sure. I don't even know that guy.
I can't even remember. But like,
the live chat
I feel like there's a settling in period that you're gonna have to. You don't
see a new manager bounce being possible in this team.
But these guys need pre-season that you're talking about.
Exactly. Do you get what I'm saying? So whereas people can look at the obvious negatives, which is Poch, it's not the same group of players he worked with in the past in terms of players taking on his ideas on board, etc., etc. Obviously, him working with Levy in the past and then discarding him the moment shit got tough. But then you look at the positives. We still have some new young players that Poch can actually help mold. We also have the historical inner workings of the club, so that you basically there won't be like a long period to sort of acclimatize. Right? He could literally just get the job, get running straight away.
Yeah.
I don't think I feel like that's more of a guy. You get that more hiring someone like Pochettino than you would do hiring a new manager.
I think it's almost a pointless exercise even thinking about it, because I said Conte's not getting sacked to like before the end of the season. Like he's with you to the end of the season.
He absolutely should. He should.
Do you think you're going out?
If he doesn't, then it shows their priorities. Simple.
Do you have any faith for the Champions League game against Milan?
I don't. I think we're getting knocked out.
Okay.
Genuinely. And I didn't think this 4 months ago.
Until
When we got the draw, I said, you know what? It's a 50-50 tie, but I'll back Spurs to go through. But now I'm actually deep in it now, seeing how we've been since that draw.
Turkish.
That's what he's like. And when I was coming there, like the new guy coming for his ex, like, do you know what? Maybe we could take it. He's like, no. She would never get with you. She would never come for you. You're not on her level.
I'm tired of this. I'm tired of this bitch ass so-and-so Turkish pretending like I talk about Pochettino all the time. I don't. The most I've spoken about Poch is when Lawless is thinking that he's going to come to.
I've put my hat in the race as well as a Chelsea fan with Potter moving mad.
With Poch, yeah?
Yeah, with Poch, yeah.
The thing is, as I said,
I like Poch. I think I really. The thing is with Poch, is I think with Chelsea, obviously, him managing Tottenham previously is not desirable, and a lot of the fans and the proper Chelsea will hate that. But if you're actually looking at him as a manager and what he's done and him as a coach and improving young players, he's kind of where he thrives is kind of where we are at in terms of we are trying to build a team. We're trying to develop a young team. We're trying to put them on the next level. We have to coach these guys. A lot of these guys need improving. We need to revive the Mason Mounts if they're going to stay, etc. And a lot of these guys need actually that type of coach. They don't just need a manager that will come in and just an elite manager with a squad that's not ready to they're not going to be able to produce the goods, in my opinion. I mean, it's a better squad than is shown, but I also think there's clear improvements to be made and there's a lot of clearing out to do.
Can I just ask you two before we really go on Chelsea?
Poch is not the flavour of the month, that's for sure.
He is. He gets a lot. Poch gets.
People say Poch is a yes man. I don't really agree with that either.
But at the same time, he's not. But at the same time, I feel like Pochettino did voiced his displeasure at the methods in which Spurs were operating in at that point in time. He definitely voiced his displeasure, but ultimately, there's only so much you can do as a manager. If you can say something. It's up to the people above you to take it on. If they don't want to,
you can't force anything to happen.
Do you get what I'm saying? So, listen, I can understand why some fans don't want Poch back. Even me, I tweeted it probably like 2 weeks ago. I don't want Poch back, and it's not because I don't like him. It's just because like when people come back, it never hits the same. It never hits the same, and especially with
Mourinho won the league with Chelsea the second time round, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. And then what happened after that?
Yeah, well, still.
What you think? You know damn well he ain't winning the league at Tottenham. Stop the foolishness.
Well, no, that ain't happening. But I still want you guys to, because I put my chest out, I put my neck on the line and said Spurs ain't getting top 4. What do you two think? Are Spurs getting top 4?
Bro, I've been saying this since Aston Villa. I don't think we're getting top 4.
I don't know. You ain't really been. Why can't we get top 4? Why?
No. He's saying they must, as in an expectation, but he's saying in terms of what he thinks will happen, he doesn't.
Yeah, we absolutely should.
I wouldn't. But I've been cussing Tottenham all season because even when they were winning games, they weren't playing well. Do you remember? They were coming from behind in the second half. They were riding their luck. First half, they were 1-0 down, 2-0 down, playing like crap. And then second half, they would just turn it around. And I was always calling them out for it, saying, listen, this team, they're in a false position. They don't deserve to be in the top 4 anyway. And unless they actually start playing better, they're going to come down. And now it's starting to happen. They're still not where I think they should be. I think they still need to come down. It's only
but the table doesn't lie. The thing is, you say
the table
that.
Doesn't lie. I hear that. But if Brighton keep plugging away.
What does that even mean?
It means that as bad as Tottenham are, you've got shit teams like Chelsea who haven't capitalized.
It's true, but Brighton and Fulham and them, man, it's not far. They're not far off you now.
They've got games in hand. So they got games in hand. Win your games in hand, then you'll be above Spurs. Simple.
Hey,
Newcastle-
Spurs could finish in the Conference League.
Bro, look at
Spurs
that.
could
Give me
be
to go through the
playing
points, yeah?
rivals.
Tottenham have played 26 games, 45 points. Liverpool
Yeah.
on 42 points, 25 games,
Yeah.
right? So they could go
Oh my
level.
God.
Newcastle, 41 points, 24 games. They could go ahead, but they need to fix their form. They're at 1 in 5. Fulham,
Oh, they
25
need to.
games.
What do they need to do? They need
Fix
to
their
fix
form.
their form.
Exactly.
Okay.
100%. Fulham,
Don't compare
39
you to
points,
Newcastle.
25 games. Brighton, 23 games, 38 points. And Brentford, 35 points, 23 games.
Wow.
Both these guys have 3 games in hand over Tottenham. Brighton, if they can string a
Brighton
couple
have
of wins
Brighton
together,
have 2 games in hand over Spurs.
Hey,
is it 2 or 3?
2.
I've got 23 games on my screen.
Yeah,
Pretty sure.
same.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, and you
yeah,
got
it's 3
26.
games
They
in
got
hand.
3.
Yeah.
They got 3.
Wow.
Oh,
Hey,
bro.
Spurs could really finish.
But this is
in
only
that
if they
Conference
capitalize.
League.
That's the thing, and you need to.
Yeah, but this is what I'm saying though, and that's the point. It's all good and well saying, oh yeah, Brighton, this is that and the first. They have to do it.
Yeah,
They have to. They
They've
have
got
to
the
do it.
quality.
Go-
They've got a good manager. They've got good players.
Yeah.
Wow.
We'll see.
You need to be very worried, man, because Europa League might be a myth for
What do you
you.
mean? I need to be very worried. I just told you Spurs aren't getting top 4.
No, but you might not even get Europa League. That's what I'm
We
saying.
probably will get Europa League. We probably will get Europa League.
Listen, you're in a mess. Like these
You know
other
what?
teams.
With this Premier League
we are
now,
in-
after what happened at
Lawless,
Anfield,
Lawless,
anything
we
can
are
happen.
in a mess, but as you've seen, we have the capacity to pick up points in between the messes. That's what Spurs are going to do. You win a couple, you lose a couple. You win a couple, you lose a couple.
It just takes a nice run from some of these teams. Obviously, we haven't got time to analyze the fixtures of each team, but that's going to play a part.
Yeah,
We'll
but
look at the international break. We'll take a look because that's when
So
we'll
Brighton.
have
So
it.
let me. I can tell you this for free. Brighton 2 games in hand. One is against Newcastle, and the other is against Man United. So it's teams in and around. So their results in those games could benefit Spurs. Yeah, it may. No, you're saying it could, but if they beat Newcastle, they go above Newcastle, not Spurs.
Mm.
Do you get what I'm saying? If they beat Man United, that brings Man United into the top 4 race. So we're talking about 2 spots instead of 1. So
Yeah, but that's acting like there's 2 games left. There's not 2 games left.
No. I'm not saying there's 2 games left, but I'm saying we're talking about their games in
To
hand.
play for.
We're talking about their games in hand. So I'm saying
Yeah, okay.
within the context of their games in hand could potentially benefit Spurs, despite them getting closer to Tottenham. That's what I'm trying to say.
Before we, I mean, there's not really much to say on Chelsea. We beat Leeds.
The Potter project has begun. The Potter project.
We'll talk after
You lot are shit,
the
man. You lot-
the Dortmund home game.
You're actually crap. Sorry.
Would you cash in on the likes of Son? I know Kane. We've already spoke about many times.
Yeah,
but
for the right price, I would.
yeah, I think you've got to look at cashing in on these guys, maybe.
No,
because if Tottenham, I don't know what Tottenham where they go from here, right? But if Tottenham were to bring in another manager, you'd assume that there's a hint of a rebuild going on, right? In terms of clearing out
more
the
than him.
yeah,
We need
definitely, yeah.
We need 2 new centre backs. We probably might need to replace Harry Kane in the summer. We need an offensive-minded midfielder. We definitely need another left wing back or left back. If Reguilon isn't going to be retained, Cess needs to be sold. Perisic, I don't know what needs to happen to him, but he just needs to chill. If he's going to stay here another year, stay.
Squad player.
He can't play regularly, in my opinion. He can't play regularly. Right wing back, I think we
Lawless
need
is
another
cashing
one.
that check.
Yeah, I'm cashing it all the way.
He can cash it. That's fine. But we need a goalkeeper. So I've mentioned left back or left wing back, 2 centre backs, 1 more midfielder, 1 goalkeeper, potentially 1 or 2 more attackers.
Jeez.
That's like 5, 6, 7 players, and we need to sell.
Most importantly,
we need
for
to
that.
sell. We need to sell. Sell. That's what we need to do.
The future's looking bleak for Spurs. Let's just say that, yeah.
So what's it looking like for West Ham?
And do you know what? Do you know what the worst thing is? Do you know how bad things are for us now?
You think next season, with a new manager, with your team, you think that you're going to be back in there again, isn't it?
That's what I'm saying.
So they're going to be back in there, but Spurs are the one that are.
I know what he's doing.
Can you see that? Can you see how this?
He actually thinks as long as they stay up, they get a new manager. With the team they have, he thinks he's knocking on your door.
Potentially new ownership, right? Next
He
season.
said he's knocking on your door, and he's asking.
It's crazy.
I'm
He's
just
crazy.
saying.
They finished above us. They finished above
He's
us.
asking,
once
did you pay your
in-
TV license?
They
That's what
finished
he
above us
said.
once in like 20 something years, but they're
I'm talking about the future. I'm not talking about the
say
past.
what you want,
I'm
bro.
talking about the
Say what you
future.
want. It's all good.
Talking about the future. I'm just saying everything that you've just said, the massive undertaking, yeah, that a new manager has. Kane probably leaving, right? Good chance. Son, all of that, yeah, a massive rebuild that you don't trust your owners to steward for you, right? And you can't tell me where I look at it and go, do you know what? I'm less pessimistic about our season next season. I'm not saying we're definitely going to finish above Spurs. I'm saying like you're going to fall and we're going to rise. We might meet in the middle somewhere, but boy, you need to be worried, mate. You need to be very worried.
Mate, you might get relegated.
Yeah, okay.
I don't think it's going to happen, but you might. Like you're saying, I need to be worried. You genuinely might get relegated.
I'm just talking about next season, though. So if we stay
Yeah,
up,
my point is, if you get relegated, there will be no next season because you're going to be in the championship.
okay, well, that's
Like,
we're still a season,
you
isn't it?
what you're saying. You are 2 points off 20th.
I'm talking about
That is mad, by the way. Fuck
That's
me.
mental. You're 2 points off 20th.
Shit, bro.
if you
God
go
damn.
down,
I think you
if
should
go
just,
down,
bruv. I honestly,
all of this
Lawless,
goes out
I
the
would just
window.
focus, bro.
What are we actually saying here?
I
If
definitely
if
think
you
you
go
should
down, Paqueta's gone, Rice is gone, Ings is gone. Who else is
I
gone?
don't
Who
think
else is
Ings
gone?
is gone.
Ben Rama's gone. Yeah,
focus.
so many. Bowen's gone.
We got Ben Rama from the championship, so
Bro,
you know.
the point is your team is finished.
Bro,
Well, let's just see. Like, look,
If you go
you
down.
think we'll stay up, so let's just operate under the assumption that we will stay up, and we'll rise and you will fall. That's what I'm saying. Like, you've got. It's a mess. Like, you can't. Come on, Matisse. Like, look, just look at it.
No,
They've
I've said that they're in trouble. I know that they're in trouble.
Matisse,
Who are they now? All these managers they've been through, they've tried,
Matisse,
winners,
look.
they've tried project managers, they've tried all of this, and they've stretched this squad to its limits, right?
Especially
And
with
Conte-
Newcastle coming up, everybody's in trouble. Everybody.
What
who
did
doesn't
you
have
say
expectations
to
of is in
Matisse
trouble.
earlier? What did you
Huh?
say? Conte, he would leave this team in a
In the
worse
worst-
place than he
yeah,
found.
100%. That's exactly what
I
he's
don't
gonna
think
do.
he has left it in the worst.
No,
state.
no, they actually have a good team.
So I don't. So
But-
that point doesn't ring true. We've actually.
I do
signed-
think that's because your recruitment staff have gone against him in ways. I haven't.
No, I don't think they have gone against him because
Did he want Danjuma? Because he's not using him.
He wanted.
Exactly.
He wanted.
Jed Spence, Richarlison?
I'm not talking about just. He definitely wanted.
Definitely
Richarlison.
wanted Richarlison. Yeah.
He definitely wanted Richarlison.
I'm just saying these players aren't playing enough games.
Yeah, they're not playing enough games, but how are they leaving Spurs in the worst state? Having Richarlison is not a bad thing. Having Jed Spence is not a bad thing. Having
Yeah, but it's
Romero
about the team, mate. It's about
yes,
the team.
it's,
about how
and
they
you're right.
fit into
You're
the-
right. It's about the team. So a better performing manager can get more out of these players. They're not bad players. Basuma's not a bad player. These are good players. They're good players.
Yeah, they listen, but they're good players. But can a new manager come in right with a specific style and all these pieces fit together?
Lawless,
If a new
genuinely-
manager wants to play a back four,
Genuinely, tell me what manager in the Premier League would come in and wouldn't be able to get a tune out of Basuma, having seen what you've seen for Brighton.
To be fair, having Richarlison.
Tell me
at
what
60
manager in the
million,
Premier League wouldn't
goals
be
this
able to
season
get
is
a
not
tune
good
out
for
of
him.
Richarlison, having
point.
seen what you've seen in the Premier League. Genuinely. If
David
Richarlison
Moyes.
was playing up top for you with a better manager, do you think he scores goals?
do you know what? I think Richarlison actually, even under Moyes, would be better for us than he is for you. I actually think
If
he'd be.
Basuma played next to Rice instead of Souček, does that make your midfield better?
Yeah. If they play next to us.
So these are good players. And
Yeah, I'm not saying they're not, but
No, but the point I'm making is that's what makes this a bigger indictment on the job that Conte has done this season. Because despite our deficiencies in defensive areas, we're not talking about scrubs. We're not talking about Bergwijn and Harry Winks. We're talking about Bissouma. Chelsea made a bid for this guy in January. Top 6 teams wanted this guy in the summer. Richarlison was scouted by Chelsea, and Chelsea made a late move for him in the summer. We're talking about Brazil's top goal scorer, at the World Cup. Like, these are not bad players.
yeah, and you know
And
what?
even
But
if
I
you-
have to
even if
say
you think-
this.
Even if you think Richarlison's not good, whatever, fine. There's still Pedro Porro. There's still Destiny to come into this side. There's still Jed Spence to come into this side. There's still Skip. There's still Pape Matasar. There's still Brian Hill. I don't know. There's still Kulusevski. There's still Bentancur. Like we actually have some good players.
But here's the thing on next season, Tobs, right? And this is the thing. We will probably have to replace Declan Rice. I get that. You will probably have to replace Harry Kane.
Probably,
What is harder to replace? Who's going to be harder to replace? Harry Kane. You can't just go and find a player of that level. Not just that level.
They're not upgrading on him. They're not upgrading. That's a once in a lifetime player for
no, but the drop off as well.
Yeah, the drop off's huge, brother. Of course,
it's going to be huge.
He's a Premier League legend.
Yeah, it's huge.
They've already been reliant on him.
It's huge, but Spurs have lost big players in the past, and eventually we always end up on our feet. You can smile all you want.
This is the player. This ain't just this isn't like losing Bale. This ain't like
Gareth Bale was our best. Gareth Bale was our best player. We lost him, and we finished 6th the next year, 5th the year after that. Like,
I think this is different. I think this is different to Bale Modric's. I think you've been so reliant on him for so long. He's been so, and this is a striker.
I'm not even disputing your point about the difficulty and the gap that he's going to leave. 100%. But what my overarching point is, I don't just think you're going to see Spurs drift into mid-table mediocrity. I don't think it's going to be like that because it's not really been like that for Spurs. Granted,
but there's more competitors coming in, yeah.
Yeah,
I don't think we're challenging for top 4 though either.
Yeah, I don't think we will be challenging for top 4. I'm not arguing against that. I'm not arguing against that. If you get it, we've shown a track record of struggling to replace our key players. So now, literally, the best player that we've had in this period, if he goes, we have no faith that they're going to replace him properly. So yes, you're going to see a drop off in Spurs. But what I'm saying to you is, I don't think the drop off will be so significant that Spurs are going to be languishing in 12th or 13th.
I never said that, but the drop off will be so much. Is what I'm saying is we'll probably be competing for you for the same positions. Let's
see it because the difference is you talk up West Ham a lot. Let's see it. Let's see it come to fruition. You said a lot of things at the start of the season. You're fighting relegation. You actually could be in the Championship, and you're focusing on us that are fighting for top 4 this season. So all I'm saying to that is, let's see. If that's your opinion, that's your opinion. I want to see it evidenced. That's it.
Okay, let's do it. Let's get good manager in. Like this is all, by the way.
You stay up first.
Everything. If we stay up, everything.
If you get relegated, bro,
is null and void. If we obviously get relegated or we keep Moyes beyond this season, and then everything I say doesn't count. If we stay up, get rid of Moyes, keep these players, spend the Rice money well. I'm not, we could get.
So you're gonna lose Rice now, yeah? Okay.
Look, I think.
Wow, is it because of that interview? Hey,
no, listen, I've been
look what we got here, huh?
No, I've always been resigned to it, but it's the way that you lot talk about as if like we just have to. It's his choice, and we've got no say in the man. We just have to accept any bid that comes in.
To a certain degree, it is his choice because the way that he's sabotaged in that interview, now you all don't want him. So. And
I
told you already, Rice is not a happy man. Rice is not a happy man. And Rice is gonna wiggle his way out of your football club. If you don't,
at the end of the day,
he's gonna start throwing up some curveballs. If you don't let him go for a reasonable price, and you try and price him out the market with your stupid 100 million type valuation that nobody's paying, then he is going to start making moves in the summer and start causing problems behind the scenes. And if you think that interview is the end of it, then you've got another thing coming. If you think you can stick a 100 million pound price tag on a player that is not really worth that, let's be real, you're going to get
no. So let me tell you something. If he thinks 100 million is ridiculous, then he doesn't back himself.
No, that's not how that works.
When we're seeing the Jack Grealishes and the Maguires and all them players, if he doesn't think that 100 million pounds is reasonable for him, then he doesn't rate himself.
Maguire was 80. Grealish is an attacker. You know the difference.
No, but like I said, Maguire is a centre back, and he went for 80 million.
Let's not rank it on Maguire because Manchester United was spending like clowns. Let's be real.
No, but it's there. It's
Maguire,
there,
this guy wasn't even worth half that. Let's be real, man. Come on.
I'm just saying, like he needs to realize, if he backs himself and he really understands.
No, he wants to leave,
game.
and if you guys overprice him, he's going to be pissed. It's not nothing to do with backing himself.
Well,
or
guess
anything
what?
Like
Get over it. You signed a
that.
contract.
Yeah, you watch to see if he
You
gets
signed a
over it. If you
contract.
keep him next season, I can't wait for this. It's going to be hilarious. I can't
You
wait.
signed that contract, mate. You was more than happy to
That
sign
is his
it.
valuation, whether you like it or not. That's his valuation.
It don't matter about the valuation. It doesn't
I
matter.
just can't wait to see this amazing West Ham team next year. It's gonna be
Let's go through these super chats before we wrap up. Can't wait to see.
No, wait. Say Potter. Just give me your last word on Potter. Like Potter, you won.
Doesn't
You
make a
still
difference.
Potter, please resign?
It doesn't make a difference. We beat Leeds.
Potter
at home.
process, mate. It started.
We got Dortmund tomorrow. Let's see how he does there. It was a game against Leeds. 2 relegation candidates.
New manager
1-0
bounce
win.
Leeds, though.
1-0 win from 1-0 win against a relegation fodder.
New manager bounce though. You beat the new manager bounce tag.
No, he actually had his new manager bounce last weekend when he beat Southampton, the team that we
It
lost.
usually lasts a couple games, isn't it? Like,
Yeah, well, clearly not.
Potter
That
in.
shit. The game. Can't wait to see Lawless's face when we take Rice for 50 million while his dead team is playing in the championship. If you get relegated, that price for Rice is going to come down. We may be annoying because it's more of us, baby boy, says Costa. May I please cook Saeed later tonight? It's going to be mad. People have been stopping me on the street in between studio to here to do shows, telling me please cook Saeed. It's ridiculous. Guys, what color is London Arsenal on top? Yeehaw, this guy every single day with this shit. Jesus Christ. Well, guys, we're gonna wrap up. This is kind of like your warm up. You know, you're training. You're on the touchline. You're stretching because the Big Six is only a few hours away, and I don't know what type of movie we're gonna get, but I do believe it will be the best movie we've ever seen in Skullfuggery history. So I can't wait. Lawless, let them know where to find you, bro. It's been a pleasure.
Yes, at West Ham Fan TV at the Lawless. Obviously, we tune in for the watch along. We've got Larnaca in the Conference League on Thursday.
Who you got?
Larnaca from
Larnaca.
Cyprus.
Is that Narnia?
Listen, you know damn well you've heard of Larnaca, yeah? It's a great holiday destination.
Yo, where they from? Where they from?
Cyprus, the island
okay.
of Cyprus, yeah?
Shit,
You know, Larnaca,
Narnia.
so...
Are you at home or away? Are you gonna go?
We're away. Well, I was hoping to go.
You should go, man.
but-
You should go to Narnia.
Yeah, get a nice holiday out of it, man.
Yeah, ticket. Yeah, look, nice holidays. These are sort of away days you can look forward to next season, Tobs or Matisse. So listen, Matisse, I'm telling you, if you get 7th, oh my God, you wait when we read your fixture list.
I actually prefer 8.
Nah. Like I'm telling you, like either of you could get 7th, yeah. So just wait till next season when we talk about.
If it happens, I'll hold it firmly. I'll hold that. Right now, I'm gonna laugh.
God.
Shamelessly, I'm gonna laugh. So yeah.
All right.
There you go. West Ham versus Narnia. Watch along on West Ham Fan TV. Make sure you subscribe. You'll find Lawless there. It's gonna be a madness. Tobes, let them know it's fine. Huh?
I know I was gonna say, and if we lose, mate.
Yo, I will be dead. Tobes.
Yeah, tap in Tobs on all socials. Probably gonna do a AC Milan preview if I can be asked tomorrow evening. So, yeah.
Big game, man.
Jeez, someone needs to just screenshot Tobes.
Yeah.
that should be the thumbnail.
Shit, man. Damn. All right. Well, me, obviously, Battle of the North, guys, is literally in half an hour. So yeah, that's gonna be
mad.
I feel sorry for Flawless already. We're not even there yet. I'll probably play the Saeed intro again just to rinse it while we can because I think it's funny. And apparently, I missed out last part. There's a little extra teaser at the end. It's kind of like Marvel film. I didn't give you the last little credit scene. So yeah, Battle of the North is at 7:00 on this channel. Set your reminders. It's already up. It's literally half an hour's time. Subscribe, smash up the likes, subscribe to all the boys, and I'll see you guys in half an hour, and I'll see you on the Big Six later as well. In a bit, people. Peace.